Hello, everyone. This is Nathan Chu again, broadcasting from here in the Philippines in Quezon City. And for those of you who are new here to my channel, please do visit my website, onelifeonly.net. And I also want to invite you to listen to this video presentation through a podcast on Spotify. And you can just look up One Life Only Counseling. And for those of you who prefer reading, you can go to my blog or my website, onelifeonly.net. And from there, you'll also find out about what I do, the counseling work that I do. I've been doing this since 2009. All right. So today I'll be reading to you my latest blog post. For those of you who are listening to this on a podcast on Spotify, I call it a blogcast because it's the blog post that I simply just read out to you. All right. So, uh, the title of this week's blog post is The Intentional Life. So it's kind of like a weird title for those of you who are new to ACT or ACT therapy. If you read more on my posts lately, since 2019, I've been using this particular approach for uh, about, let's say, it's 3 years now. And I'm happy to say it's produced some great results in my own life. And also, I've seen how it works with my clients. So let's start reading the blog post now. So, so when I was a young man, in my schooling days, up to my 30s and 40s, I often wondered about the magic that religious retreats did for many people. All of a sudden, I see a huge chunk of attendees turn into smiling, kind, and happy people, almost as if they had discovered something inside of them that had long been gone. I see those who have been angry, depressed, fearful, shamed in the past turn into brave souls that share their experiences to a group that they hardly even knew before the retreat started. With their voices breaking and their eyes welling up in tears, someone who's hardly seen in the crowd turns out to have quite the story to share. So, in fact, I'm one of them. I'd go to these religious retreats and I would have an epiphany, kind of an awakening, a part of me that I haven't discovered in a long time or haven't gotten in touch with in a long time. So those were great experiences, wonderful days indeed. So now the wish was, for most of us at least, to have these events last forever. So we don't ever have to confront the real world with its problems. For those of you who are familiar with the culture here in the Philippines, or not familiar with the culture here in the Philippines, we do have religious retreats in a lot of places because our country is 80% Catholic, uh, or probably you can say Christian, and we have, the church is always very accessible to people, so it's a great way to learn more about ourselves and our lives and what we hold to be most dear. That costs very little for most people, especially coming from a country where uh, people can be very hard up. All right. So after a few days of meeting happy faces and people with intentions to get the best out of themselves in the retreat, we go back to our mundane lives. We go back to the parents we have a hard time getting along with, the pressures of work or school, the critical boss at the office, the obnoxious classmates or coworkers who wish would just stay away or even the usual navigating rush hour traffic. For those of you who are not from the Philippines, traffic is really bad here. Okay. So these are all challenges that we have to face outside the context of the retreat grounds. So once the retreat is over, then we go back to this mess we call life. All right. So in my journey through counseling, I think I have finally found a sound scientific explanation as to how this works. Why do retreats work? Why do people have these experiences, experiential learning opportunities in religious retreats that kind of give them more life, more expectations going out of it? All right. Expectations out of themselves. Wouldn't it be great to have the spiritual high within reach without having to spend a few days out of the context of the natural and challenging environment of our careers, our families, and of course, society in general, you know, traffic, pollution, uh, fast-paced lives, deadlines to meet. So let's go to something that would probably let us understand what it is that happens, why we get to have these spiritual awakening or spiritual highs that we get out of religious retreats. Well, the secret may lie in the intention of the happy life versus the intention of a life well lived. All right. So the secret lies in the degree to which we remain in touch with what is important to us. When we are in a safe environment, there are no problems that are present for us to solve. Sadly, we are often caught up in trying to fix problems that are quite tragically unfixable. Our feelings, thoughts, and relationships are not problems to be solved. Neither are our partners, our kids, our parents, friends. They are not problems to solve. Just like you, I believe that our problem solving skills should apply everywhere. I wanted a life without problems, loved ones and friends without conflict. It's what one author would call the fix me trap, which we often apply to other people as well. We come to believe that their styles of relating are also problems that are there for us to solve, or what we can refer to as the fix them trap. When we let go of this agenda to remove our very own capacity to feel or to have difficult thoughts, then we can shift our focus on those that are important to us, those matters that are important to us. Like, how important is it for you to be kind, even in the face of a difficult relationship? How important is it for you to be patient and caring when the situation arouses your anger? I often use a short meditative practice that I got from a book that used the word intentionality a lot in referring to this skill of going back to what truly matters. So I'm going to read to you the text verbatim. All right. So this is something that I do at the start of sessions. I don't use the exact words, but this is something I got from the Act Matrix book, the beige one. As a way to start this session, I'd like to suggest we do a short settling in exercise. Then, if it feels useful to you, we could start our future sessions with it. Take some time to let your body find a comfortable position. You're looking for a position comfortable enough that you won't have to move around over a few short minutes this exercise takes. Once you've found a comfortable position, see if you can let your gaze rest upon in front of you. Then if it's comfortable for you, let your eyes close gently and just keep them open. Now let your attention come to rest on your breathing. Just notice the movements in your chest and belly as you inhale and as you exhale. If you notice your attention wandering away from the breath, that's perfectly normal. See if you can just note where attention went and gently bring it back to noticing the movement of your breath in your chest and belly. Now see if you can turn your attention toward the thoughts and feelings you've had about today's session, either since you got up this morning or over the past couple of days. See if you can simply notice whatever shows up. Now see if you can identify or choose who or what is important to you for today's session. Again, see if you can simply notice whatever shows up. Now, if you're willing, see if you can form the intention to take steps in this session to move toward who or what is important to you for today's work. For my part, I'll support you as best I can in taking those steps. Now bring your attention back to the room, back to the chair on which you're sitting, back to the two of us here to work together today. And when you feel ready, if you've had your eyes closed, let them open again. Okay, that's the end of quote. So if you can notice part of that, the last few sentences that I read, see if you can form the intention to take steps to move toward who or what is important to you. As you and I wake up each morning, can we form that awareness and intention of being the person we want to be and living the life we want to live? So that's the end of my blog post today, and thank you for staying with me. I had to pause a lot in reading that short meditative practice, and hopefully you enjoyed today's little vlog. And for those of you who are listening to today's podcast or blogcast, and I hope to see you one day. Every one of us needs help when it comes to dealing with our thoughts and feelings. Uh, all of us needs help with. It's just like saying that part of being healthy is doing our exercise, and eating the proper diet. So part of taking care of our mental health is either doing this, listening to these types of blog posts, or to some of those self-help books that are available out there, and also some of the videos that you're watching on YouTube. And of course, if you need more personalized help, something that will help you, let's say, apply everything that you learn or uh, watch or listen to, then I invite you to come try do some counseling. Whether it's me or somebody else, I don't care. I hope you learn something from this about what the intentional life is all about. Being in touch with what really matters to us. Being a friend, being a loving friend, being a caring partner or spouse, or a family member, or coworker, or student, or whatever. Okay? So I hope you had a good time listening to this, and I hope you learned something. Take care for now. Bye bye. Like and subscribe, please.